Welcome to Colossal Square.
Welcome back to the Colossal Square office. So today will be another progress tour, just to show the updates of what's been going on so far. So as you can see, there's been a server rack added. This is because there is a person in the community who's making workshop models. It's actually quite a lot. I've used a substantial amount in this build. They are absolutely amazing at what they do. So in here, nothing's changed here. Start from the car park. So you'll be able to see here, looks like there's a new store there. I know I said I was avoiding making a grocery store. I decided to bite the bullet and just make one. I'm not a huge fan of grocery stores. Out of all retail in real life, they're definitely the one that I like the least. On top of that, I suck at making them. I'm never happy with how they look when I make them. One of the stores that we'll go on tour to is a grocery store, and I wasn't displeased with how it looked, but I also wasn't super happy with it. It was very, very borderline. But moving on with the tour, over here, got one trolley bay here. There will be another one getting built, but that'll be later. So you've got the blue ones are the Colossal Square trolleys. So they're the ones that are just universal for any store. The kale ones are the purple ones. So there's sort of a mix here because as people, go to their cars, and then team members from Kales. This is the idea. Team members from Kales will come over, collect the Kale trolleys, and take them back to Kales. And if they have any of the Colossal Square trolleys, they'll bring them down to here. Got a nice little bike rack, so anyone who wants to ride here, well, as long as there's only 4 people that want to ride here, you'll be able to lock your bike up. Then still nothing here, haven't done anything here yet. Waiting on seeing what sort of future workshop items or decorations. As I said in one of my previous videos, I do have an idea of what I want to build here. I just know that it will be a lot of time and a lot of trial and error, and I'd rather wait to see if what I want to build there ends up becoming a model anyway, other than wasting my time, spending hours building it, and then a model comes out that looks 5 times better than what I can make with the shapes. But moving on, game exchange. So a lot has changed in here. It felt still quite empty. For me at least, I still wasn't getting a proper game shop vibe. Now I think it probably leans more towards the 2000s, maybe the 90s/2000s, with the way that it's sort of set up a bit. So we'll go in. Bargain bins, still haven't been able to put anything in them yet. Waiting until we can do decorations again, then they will start getting games put in them. We'll go over here first. So we have the update that's going to have some new items. So we're going to have stuff like RAM sticks. There's going to be more computer stuff, keyboards, mice. So I've got here, I don't 100% know how much of that new stuff, but I'd rather give too much room than given not enough room. So that's what the idea through here is. This is just collectibles. So you have the plush, the little figurines, some signs, and then the RC cars. Same as around here, and then you got some radios. And these are just all the graphics cards. Now this is one of the biggest changes in here. So this is big part of why I said, late 90s, 2000s. I'm sure there are still some places around the world that still do this, but I'm just not too sure where. But I still remember places like Target and certain game shops, this was a big thing where they'd have the game and you could actually come over and try it. You got the console in there, the game machine, you got the game machine controller, and you've got the 2 games here. So you got Counter Offer and Mortal market. Then over here, we've just got registers. I just try to add little shelves here, just to try and make it look a little bit more real. Contemplating, may potentially get rid of this register, connect these up, and build little shelves there. Because not sure about other places, but I know in Australia, generally they have the shelves behind here where, you know, you'll come up with the case of the game, you want to buy that, and everything will be catalogued inside the shelves. Where currently, unless I just pretend that they got shelves under here, I can't really build anything under there, or then it interferes with the register itself, and it doesn't let me. It'll only let me have like one person lined up. Show an example here. So if we go here, currently I can have 4, and then that shelf gets in the way. But if I build anything, those ones are clipping in, so I might be able to get away with it. But usually, if I build anything close to the front, it automatically stops this from going any more than 1, and only having 1 person able to line up would be quite bad. New release stand, and then you got the advertisements. That's the changes on the shop floor. We go out the back. Nothing's done in the receiving bay. In here, we've got space for the toilets. We've got a little kitchen area for the staff, little seating area for them, and then the management desk over here. Now, from Game Exchange, we'll go across to Patriot. Now, you'll see the changes on the shop floor, still the same from previous video. But where the changes have been made is out the back. So we've got the plastic door, server exchange, manager's desks. I'll end up building possibly some racking, some sort of storage, you know, filing cabinets and that around here. This is the receiving bay. Then you go into the team room. We've got the sink, microwave, drawers, cupboard, and shelving. Or I guess other cupboards. Then you've just got, you know, where they sit and eat. Might build something over there. Haven't started on that yet. More will be done in here. That's what I've done in there for now. Then you've got the disabled friendly toilets. So wheelchair access. You've got the rail there to help you up and down. You've got the sink there. The way I tried to do this sink was got a semicircle inside another semicircle, try and give it a bit more depth. And then you got the spill kit just here. So that's there. You've actually got the sizing charts in here now. Now, before we go to the new store, we're just going to do a real quick trip into the arcade. Just to show a few more decorations in here. And we do have a mobile store that will be coming. Talk about that a bit more during the build mode. Now for the big one. So we got the grocery store, Kales. So we'll go through the front door. As it's Easter, we've got some Easter advertising here, Easter advertising over there, and then we've got the East End selling chocolate. Then we've got the fresh produce first off the rack. Now, the way that I made these here, technically, show you. Go to here. And go to that one. I can actually add more shelves down there I'm not 100% sure if customers would actually be able to shop them, but I didn't want shelves down there trying to make them look like produce bunks. So the idea is that down below would be drainage pipes, you'd have ice underneath the produce, and then each morning you would remove the old plastic, get the ice, re-put the ice on there, put the plastic down, and then all the melted ice, of course, would go through the drainage pipes. Then from fresh produce, we go to the beverages. So soda, energy drinks, the larger bottles. Then we've got the cans and the juice. Then you've got the preserved and condiments, which are all up this aisle here. And the hot drink, cereal, bread, dry goods, and candy here. Yeah, I thought it was missing something. So here, cereal. Then we go into the coffee, tea, pasta, flour. Then most of this is bread, and then you've got some wraps and crackers. Another Easter end full of chocolate. Then this aisle is the kitchen, bathroom, cleaning, and household. So we've got paper towel, buckets, toiletry stuff. We've got the hanging stuff on this side. Then we go into the frozen area. Very basic. And then you got the fridges. Eggs, milk, yogurt, all that sort of stuff. Now you'll notice that with the candy, the only stuff I've got is a few chips and some candy. The reason why I've done this is because I'm looking at one of the stores in the arcade. I'm looking at possibly doing a little candy store in there. So I didn't want to use too many kinds of candy in here and then limit myself in there. Then you have the registers at the front. And you've got the trolley bay with the cows trolleys in them. Out the back, very basic. Haven't done anything other than just making it basic and functional. Put a little pole there so when they're using, pallet jacks and all that, won't damage the door. Out here you have a little theme room and manager's office. So the two stores that would like to put in the arcade, but I'm just not sure where they would go or how large they'll be, is a candy store and a bottle shop. Thinking, because the last three stores are the same size as each other. The bottle shop I'll be fine with. It's just the candy store, I'm not sure if that's too much space. And then it ends up looking quite bare and just not right at all. But we'll get that when we get there. They are the updates. Other than, I'll just fast forward so we can get there faster. The only other thing which I'll show more in build mode is a delivery truck. So just using a normal truck from the workshop, and then I've just used shapes to try and make it look like a small box truck. I might end up changing this because Neft is supposed to be like a storage container place, but maybe they're also a delivery company. But they are the updates currently for Colossal Square. I will see you in build mode. Here we are in build mode. So the only difference really in here is I've added a car. It's a new one from the workshop. person who's making all these things is absolutely amazing. So trolley bay, this here, there's going to actually be another one over here. It's just when I get to it, I'm a little bit lazy at building the trolley bays. But we've got the trolley bay here. We've got the Colossal Square coloured trolleys. We've got the kale coloured trolleys. I built a little bike rack over here. Then from here, we've got kales. There is a few other things. So down in here, done a little bit in here. Just added a few things here, a few things there, just to add a little bit more decoration. We do have another store that's going to go in here, which will be Kanga Mobile. Nothing new has really happened in here. It's just still the same. Now, Kanga Mobile, I am in the middle of building, but not doing too much, waiting for the update that is coming out soon. But I'll do a little sneak peek inside. This is how it just looks at the moment. All these will become white, just like that, and blend in with the wall. But that's just how in here looks currently. Then we go outside, and outside, just bringing up Notepad. So, yep, that's right. So again, same person who's been making these workshop items made a dumpster, which is absolutely amazing because it means I could swap it out for add those 2 other small bins there. But now we've got a proper dumpster here, so it actually looks proper and makes sense now. Over here, using some shapes on top of the truck just to try and make it look like an actual delivery truck. At the back of, I believe this is, yeah, back of Patriot. And then we got here for the back of Kales. Now we go into Game Exchange, where a lot of changes have happened. So over here, you've got the little, test games. Now I'll go here because you probably couldn't see it very well when we were walking around. But down here, you've got the 2 little squares, these little rectangles there. Every time I try to look at them, it's doing that. But those 2 little rectangles there, they're going to, once we can do decorations again, they'll have, the game that's being played up there. We'll be leaning on them. We've got the console there, which I believe, yeah, game machine. You got the controls for the game machine. There they are. So this game here should be counter offer. Oh yeah, so the other one, the one with the Karen, that's Mortal Market. And then that one there is counter offer. So there's that. So these are just, again, trying to make it look as real as possible. You've got the advertising of the games up there, hanging from the ceiling. Did a little bit around the registers. Got these here all ready for when the update drops. We'll start getting some more electronic stuff, keyboards, mice, RAM, all that stuff. Here are, don't know about other countries, but in Australia you have EB Games, which I believe is most of the time, if not all the time, connected with a Zing. So they sell like Funko Pops and figurines, all that sort of stuff, pop culture stuff. So that's what I've done here. Of course, I can't sell it, so it's just decoration, but we've got the RC cars here and on top. You've got the plush love hearts. The way that I've designed it is to try and make it look a little bit more real, so they're not all like perfectly straight, looking unnatural. So you've got someone who's filled that, not perfect, but has filled it sort of how it should be, but then when they've filled the rest, they haven't had the stock. So you've had to lay 2 down and 1 down behind, just so the front ones can stand up. And then I've done the same here, but those 2 had full stock. This one, they had to lay some down behind to keep it same in line with there, but then here, they didn't lay them down like that, and then that's what they look like because they fall backwards. Down here, instead of them being perfectly straight, which of course would look like good presentation, I've made them a little bit offbeat, a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. But the idea is either just little figurines, collectibles, little gaming signs that you can buy to hang up in your room. I've laid one down at the back to look like it's been, pushed over. Got little toy snowmen. Again, more RCs. Then you come across here. You got RCs and radios. Now, all of the, just having a look at them. Yeah, so every single one of them is a workshop item, and I believe they're, if not all, most of them are made by the same person. Like I said, they do absolutely amazing work. Haven't done anything out the back. So in the receiving bays, I'm not doing anything at the moment. With, I don't know if it's the next update, but with an upcoming update, there will be new racks and new receiving, like pallets and tables. So I don't really want to do much out the back in the receiving bays until that drops, so I'm not having to do drastic changes. Now in here I've done a little bit. So you walk in, just got a poster sitting there, got a little kitchen bench there, just a little table. Then over here is sort of like the manager's sort of desk. Try to make it look like a cheap sort of desk. And then in here will be the toilets. So I don't know if I'll do a male and female toilet, or I might just do a unisex toilet and then like a cleaning room. But then of course it's just leads out the back where I haven't really done anything yet. That is Game Exchange. Again, once the new update drops, there'll be games in the bargain bins. There'll be a lot of decoration sort of placed around the place. Then if we go over to Patriot, in here, the way that all here's been done, I believe in the last episode I showed this, but we've also got out the back now. So we've got a server rack, which again, that was made by the same person. I believe the same person that made the other stuff. You've got the desks for the managers. Haven't made any chairs yet. I don't mind the way that the chairs turn out. In my other builds, they look very similar to the chairs that you see in the hairdresser though. So I'm sort of holding off a bit before making any of them. Instead of using shapes for the keyboard, I decided to just make an image. Hasn't really got that 3D effect, but from distance, it looks fine, I believe. Then you come into here, and this is the lunchroom for the team members. So they got their microwave, drawers, cupboards, cold tap, hot tap, their sink. Then they got their little seating area, a little cushion bench with a table. And then the unisex toilet, which is also set up to be disabled friendly. So you've got the bar there to help them, the toilet, the sink. And then here we've got the spill kit. So again, at the moment, not too much on there. When the update drops, I can do decorations. I can put buckets and some cloths and a few other things on that. And again, haven't really done much else out here. Waiting for the new stuff to decide what is going to actually be properly set up out here. So that is Patriot. Still, again, more stuff to do, but it's looking a little bit more set up, the same as game, looking a little bit more substantial, a little bit more like an actual shop. So now we've got the real big change, which is Chaos. So the first thing you might notice is the doors over this side are different to the door over this side. Originally, same doors either side. That was the exit, that was the entrance. And then I realized that I had this here. Didn't want to move that because I've got them in the same spot to keep it unified. So I decided to just do two doors either side of the pole, and they're still the exit door. So you've got just the window sign, the sign with the slogan, and then the actual store sign there. Then we walk in, sign for Easter. Up there, we've got the trolley bay here that has the Kale's trolleys. The idea is they don't have any of the Colossal Square trolleys in there because it's Chaos, so they'll have a team member who, if there's any Colossal Square trolleys in here, they'll take it to the trolley bay out there, and they'll try and keep their trolleys in here. We've got the fresh produce, so all signs, these inside. So, like I said, these could have shelves in here, but the way I designed them is to try and be a little bit more like the fresh produce bunks that you see at Coles, Woolworths in Australia. So it's just the ones on top. So the idea is that they're ice bunks to keep it fresh, keep it cool. And that's how they are. It's all in here, just showing again different shapes that have been used to make this happen. All the signs. The idea of these is to make it look like that they're roller shutters. So when the stores close, these come down. That's why that one is that big and those ones are two separate ones. Got the big Easter banner. When there's no event on, it'll just be something like that. When it's, you know, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, some sort of event on, it'll change to a banner like that. I went quite basic. We're setting them up just using from the game. So fresh produce, of course, isn't what the game calls it, but I use that. But then for most of the other ones, I just use what the game calls it. Use bathroom instead of, I believe WC stands for wash closet. I could be wrong there. Again, out here, haven't really done much. The idea is going to be, I'm going to, using shapes, I'll build a wall here to make it look like it's a big walk-in freezer. I believe one of the new freezers that may be coming, you can actually walk into. If that's the case and I can get them to fit there, it'll be a big walk-in freezer, but then you'll be able to walk in to each sort of freezer individually. Then out here, we'll have all the other racks. I might still looking. I'm gonna see when the update does drop. I'm gonna see what different receiving pallets there are, and then that'll give me a better idea. Because at the moment, the way this is set up would be an absolute nightmare. But it's just there just for functionality for now. In here will be the toilets. Then you'll have a little break room, and then the manager's office in there. So that's Kale's all set up there. Other than that, that would be the upgrades so far. It's starting to fill up. This here I'm probably going to have to make bigger, the same as that one, just to have the stores, you know, not so close to the ground. I will come back and make some more changes to the coffee shop. At the moment, it's selling very, very minimal, but it depends. Might end up doing a bakery in here, and then that'll sell a lot more of that bakery stuff. Again, all the products that you see in every store are only in those stores. So anything that's at the fuel station, none of those products are in Kale's. Same as anything that's in Kale's isn't at, you know, any of the other stores. That's why in here this sells. So these are actually, I believe, yeah. So they're all only chicken because, of course, it's a chicken place. The butcher in here, I should be able to bring it up here. So if we go to refrigerated meat, okay. So Kale's only has the yellow labels. CFC only has the brown labels. And the butcher in here will only have the red labels. So that keeps them separated. And then depending what these will be, this one's a little bit of a bigger store. Then you got this one, which, yeah, it's about the same size. And then this one down here. So the remaining 3 stores in here are 3x2s. The Kanga Mobile is the smaller of the store, but it doesn't really need much. we'll end up having register set up here and the stock set up in here. Not 100% sure what sort of mobile stuff will be coming. Might not be in the next update, but they have said that they're looking at trying to bring it back, because in King of Retail 1 you did have quite a decent amount of options for mobile devices, so that'll be that store set up for that. This is Colossal Square for now. Still not sure what to put in that store. Still deciding on that. It will be the last empty plot that'll be a large store. So it might be a large store, it might end up getting split to be 2 smaller stores, but I think it'll be a large store. Just depends sort of what the future holds. That is Colossal Square. I hope you enjoyed and have an awesome day.